I'm having trouble sleeping. 27th day, almost 4 a.m. January year 2022. Wet's wet. Oh, it's from me watering that last night. I just put some wood in that. I'm going to go outside and check the temp. To me, it's not getting as low as they forecasted, which is good. I mean, we're not really getting down into the 20s. We're barely getting below 30 or down to 30 degrees, which I'm glad. I've appreciated some of that, the physical therapy of it, and then over the cost of that, propane, which that's nice too. And it's semi off the grid, which I'm not, believe me, I'm not against electricity. Refrigerator, microwave, washer, dryer, hot water heater, modern conveniences, luxuries, but within reason, You want to check the temp. And I'm glad. I do need to fix that. Roommate, woman, I've dated before. I need more of that. She's alright. She's a little shy. They got food out there, water. It actually don't feel that bad out in the air. Let's do a quick crosser. Yeah. About Tuesday night, a week and a half ago. Boy, 2 beers before that and too much of that, boy, it knocked me down. There's the Arkansas con, but she got a bottle of that. It was a main one. Okay, so that one's between 32 and 33 degrees. The one in the package is more or less between 32 and 33 degrees. So, I guess that's good, really. We're barely down to freezing. And that would be in the air, not on the ground or the pavement and places like that. Because, even when you have a tree line, forest line, or a porch or structure, it tends to protect things from totally freezing. That's just totally uncovered out in the open. I mean, it can be the simple difference. Now, sometimes if there's a plant up here, the air will get it, opposed to it being set on the porch. But the coverage of a porch, something just out in like an open field or open yard, it can be the difference of something freezing and dying, losing a plant versus not. But I was something to say about her. She's been here almost a month to the day, definitely a month to the week. And really where I've been at that time, depression, amotivational, I will have to say, there's been some rearranging of the furniture, in terms of pros and cons. I'm not getting real detailed with that, but overall, at this point, or even before this point, it's probably more good than bad is what I'm trying to say. Because, day to day, just where I was at and where I mentally, and this is like, no social interaction. So the timing of her was really good. Her phone call from her, and she was indicating she wanted to, I'm not going to fully get into her motives, whether she fully disclosed them to me or even had the ability to fully disclose them to herself, and I'm saying that very politely, and I'm not going to go any deeper than that. I'm just saying I needed somebody around that I was familiar with. I'm not going to deny that. Whether or not that exposes a weakness on my part, I'm human. Come on. Yesterday I did a video clip talking about Clark Kent and Superman. I'm definitely no Superman. That doesn't exist on planet Earth, and I appreciate some of those movies. I guess all in all, I like some, if it's not too gory, I like some of the Batman movies, Superman movies, and I guess historically from childhood to even adulthood, Superman has been my favorite character, compared to that and kind of comic character, which I never really was into comics, but that's how they originated, I guess, before the movie deal or whatever, but I'm saying, I guess, from Superman to Batman or Spider-Man, those three main classics, or even Incredible Hulk, Superman's my kind of favorite one, but I acknowledge, that's not realistic. I know as a kid, let's just say younger than 13, younger than 12, it made me want to fly, and I couldn't, but anyway, not in a plane, not in a helicopter, We can't defy the laws of gravity. Anyway, that feels nice in here. See, she takes time to put, that's an old great-grandmother blanket. I mean, the little touches that, anyway, I'm just saying, sometimes you need somebody around, I guess. And sometimes it happens unexpectedly, and that's good timing. And she done that to me in summer of 2018. That was like, I don't know how to say that, but the timing was good. And then the next summer ended up being kind of a big deal summer. I was probably there for her more than she was for me. Well, there's the previous summer there. She's there for me quite a bit. And plus I knew I was going to say short and sweet, I had upcoming court-ordered, those SAE classes, the SAE. I don't know if that's what they stood for. I forgot what they stood for. It didn't. Anyway, I had substance abuse educational classes I had to take, and it was a big deal year or court ordered, and I had to do it by a deadline, and it was like feeling nervous about it, like worse than having to customarily file my taxes on time, and because that's an unknown too, like out of my control. Tax season's never been fun for me. I've always done it, and historically done it at the last minute, but never late. And it's like a chore, I have to pay anywhere between $100 and $200 filing fee, and just not to know what's going to happen. And so it's always been a chore, an administrative chore, a personal chore, mixed individual chore. But then usually when it's over with, I feel better. I'm like, it's done, it's over. I'm glad, especially if it's accepted on both sides, to say in a generality. And just, I think I'd have to ask her. Memory's not so good. My mother, we went over there some, the house I grew up in, and I grew up in more than one. That's just the way it is for me. And it doesn't necessarily mean I was an I was overly privileged in some areas, but in other areas I was underprivileged. Horribly neglected. No, I don't remember what year my mother bought that. If it didn't come from the mall or Walmart, it come from like Walden's bookstore. And it's missing a little deal. I wonder if I can get them with a wick somewhere that hold the oil. I bet that's really pretty. I don't know what year she bought that. I think that's been around since I was like 14, and I think I liked it. And I don't remember seeing it a lot, because me and my mom got to where we didn't communicate as much as we did and interact. Plus, she had things going on in a personal dynamic, and so did I, I'm saying there was a part of my time in my early to mid-20s where she was pretty much just single, and she was doing her work life, I was doing my work life, and we kind of overlapped on interacting with each other still, talking to each other. And I could go to her for advice. But yeah, this past fall, going backwards, we're like almost soon enough we'll be done with winter of 2022 and approaching spring of 2022. But late fall or an aspect of winter 2021, late 2021, I bought 2 printers over the span of less than 3 months. This one is a HP. That one's obviously a Canon. And I was leaving that day. Yeah, you can tell I say HP. And, anyway, oh yeah, I don't need to show it. Well, that's public, I guess. I don't know what I may show or may not show. I guess I'm not showing account numbers. Anyway, I told myself, yeah, HP. I told myself, because I hadn't had this very long, remember, before you, because I had a trip, kind of spur of the moment, to go to town, like, remember the ink cartridge number, so I can get at least more black ink, and this stuff is not always cheap, and for the HP one, and after I got in the store, I'm like, I forgot to write down the number, I forgot to even look, and I got a little flustered, irritated, disappointed in myself on that. So I just went ahead and bought another cheap printer. And I think I have one just like it somewhere. It's in a box, wherever it's at. But that I bought a couple of years back. But anyway, I just bought another printer. And then and that was not the plan. But it worked out because not long after that, this one had its first jam. And I unjammed it. And I don't think I unjammed it delicately enough because it's not worked right ever since then. It won't feed the paper right. I've never had a printer go out on me that quick. That's all I can say. But I know it did one print, soon after that it did a jam. And then some of them, historically, they didn't print real good. Or I didn't either. It might be my fault because I didn't do the scan for the alignment. So I can try to be a little bit fair. I can't show what that is because it's not mine, I guess. Oh, I learned the other day. She had requested that. Those socks are laying in there. I found them. I looked in her drawer. I was looking for socks. At first, I thought that was mine, same brand. They're hers. And they don't fit. I didn't even try to put them on. Yeah, see, I got the same brand. But I can't wear her socks. I thought I could. But when we lived together before, sometimes she'd wear mine. I don't care. But I can't wear hers. To me, they're like unisex anyway, And, but I discovered that whatever night it was, less than a week ago, I don't know what brand this is. I think it's a good brand. I discovered this little thing right here. I don't know what that means. It's not accurate. It's like off a degree or up to 1.5 degrees, a degree and a half. Boy, that looks dirty. It is. And not cheap, man. I don't want to. Where's some of my? Oh, it's in there. I got over here. Anyway, this one's got the flex tip, but I discovered later, or that evening or the next day, because I was checking both of our temperatures. And I discovered that evening, after I found this one. This one is off, not accurate. Well, it has to be that one. They were not in sync on the reading. And I'm like, because on one point, I read, might have been the next morning, I don't know, or mid-morning, or later that evening, and I hadn't recorded. I was below, I think it had me below 98 degrees, or even 97 degrees, one of the two. And I'm like telling her, I'm like, I've never read that, read that low before that I'm familiar with. And then I cross-referenced with this. I'm like, oh, when we said you were like 95.5, I don't know if it ever did say 95.8. No, 99.5. I was like, well, at that time, I'm like, you were actually, in hindsight, you were 100 degrees, years above 100 degrees. I'm like, you still weren't a really, really high fever. But either way, not without trying to get into too details, like I mentioned earlier on the porch, I had some not sleeping real good, like I am, kind of like worse than I am right now. But she done it on a different time than me. But I think it goes back to things like that. That's all I can say. That and not enough sleep, and I think it was really a lifestyle induced kind of thing. I don't think it was a flu. I mean, I didn't get a fever. I didn't. She had a cough like 4 or 5 days or more. She still has a cough, but then she's got the ashtray in there. I'd show it. It's not a legit ashtray. It's an incense burner I bought when I was 14. It's brass from that Walden's bookstore that used to exist in downtown Hot Springs or near downtown Hot Springs. This is like mini megalite. Like when I $25 flashlight, flat out, takes 2 AA batteries. I'm supposed to have a copper looking one somewhere in this house. I don't even know when I've last seen it. I can't even find, I don't know if I lose them for myself or how I do it. Where's that other little battery pack? Oh, I got it back there on a charger. I'm not going to go in there and talk. The bedroom. That'll irritate her, I guess. Those are apparently hers. Ooh, I don't know what all that is. Her cigarettes. Something else. Why that's up there, I don't know, but the little guard. I might be getting a trim soon. From who I call Kid the Cleaner. Well, more of the deeper cleaning, she's been doing that. I mean, I kind of went into it would forget, like, still on this note, it's kind of like, I don't care. I'm sloppy in a bachelor's sense. I'm camping out of my house. I don't care. I don't hardly get company anyway. But, I mean, I've had some very, very up and down bad depressive spells. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, yesterday she broke that in half. It's dried out since being so close to that, but she put some on that in the moment because I had a piece that broke off of this one, which needs to be separated. I don't like stepping on that wet water. It feels horrible. I was telling her yesterday, I'm like, I actually appreciate when the house is clean enough. I'm like, I actually like going barefooted in the house. I don't do that a whole lot. I mean, unless it's, a little wood particle, from firewood. I'm not going to care about that. And, but I watered everything last night, and it leaks. So it's better. It's not dog piss. So let's leave it at that. Urine. But them are going too slow because I didn't put enough good dirt in there. I forgot what them are called. My grandmother called it a house leak, but that's not the true name for it. She's been trying to start that, wherever you call it. It might. I don't know. The grassy looking stuff. And, but anyway, I've got quite a few of these. I already gave away one months ago. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 5, not counting the center one. That keeps breaking. But I'm just saying, it can start more. And to me, that's kind of an interesting concept. I bought one over a year ago, and I didn't do very well with it. She's the one that put that cactus in the bigger deal. But I was adamant on saving those, and apparently I have. This got a little cold the other night, but it's still being preserved through the winter. Still being preserved. But it'd be wise for me to get some of my good potting soil. I might tomorrow put a little bit around it and cover up some of that stuff a little more and let it have some better nutrition. But this is my little documentary style, and I'm stopping with that. I don't even know why I fully do this, but there's a lot of people in the business sector that with stuff that's public, around here. I mean, an international company since late 2006 or September when it closed, the rental thing. And my name's been on a lot of stuff for a lot of years. And anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that, whether or not that constitutes fully or not. But it probably does to an extent, I mean, I've met people over the years. I'm in the state of Arkansas. What can I say? I met people that have done business with Walmart on and off over the years. So I don't know. I was really young, green, and naive, and just kind of got into that over the years. And I'm not totally happy at how I went about some stuff, but at the same time, I'm appreciative of some of the experiences and what I inadvertently learned. I mean, there's a lot. I'm kind of like a sponge anyway on some things, unless I'm not interested. Like mathematical things, the periodic table. Forget it. I can't do it. My mind can't go there. And I hated chemistry. I hated chemistry in high school. I mean, it was difficult. I mean, very, very difficult. And I think that's, if it kind of goes with anybody. If you don't have a natural interest in it already, and then it's complex, it's difficult. You know, I mean, you have to almost have an interest in something. If it doesn't come natural and you're having to work at learning it something, you must have a passion for it or an interest in it. You know, so I'm saying sometimes it's not all about the labor of love because you have an interest in it. You know, it can be both. What quick examples can I try to give? There are people that keep their house clean that have to actually work at it. They have the goal, the moral standard of having a clean home. There are other people that are they're mildly OCD or mildly something like that or borderline that or a notch or two below it, and they may do some things that they otherwise wouldn't do because of something else driving them. It may not always be about the moral standard of having that goal. I don't know how else to do it. Or somebody that if they're borderline on I don't know. I could compare it with my mother. She always had a depressive side, a lazy side in home, and but she still had the standard. She would have guilt though. She would beat herself up mentally for what she didn't do. Me and her had that a lot though. You know, I mean, yeah, she would have guilt though. So that means. But is it coming from your own perspective or the perspective of what you think others should have you live up to or what society should have you live up to? Anyway, that's too deep. Not going to get into that. That's more of the sociological concept of it opposed to the psychological concept. But anyway, just the end of the deal. I like stuff like that. I'll put it on my forearms and stuff at times. I like patchouli, but I haven't found it in a while. And that's what's become my desire of cologne over the years when I take the time to do it. I don't know where this come from. I just know I found it somewhere years ago. It very well could have been either just got washed out that way or some kind of Indian rock. I don't know. This is pretty cool. I bought it so many months ago, but I gotta get off of here. I'm at 22 and a half minutes. I can't go to sleep right now. Stuff like that can be good to have around. Oh, I was thinking about I needed to pay that. My other number, an important number that I may not need to let, if nobody screws me over on this, not that they will, I haven't renewed. It's probably too soon to let it go because I may need it on some password reset stuff or whatever. I don't know. Especially if I don't have an associated email. That would be crazy. She said it was too crowded. She says, I'm out. Oh, there's that coat. I gotta stop talking to this camera. I'm turning it off now.